And today, you guys, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things. It is creating UGC style ads that actually look like UGC style, okay? So not like the super polished, obviously AI person standing in the perfect bathroom holding your product, right? Instead, what we're going to be talking about is things kind of like what we're seeing here, right? We're going to go from a single character image all the way to a realistic scroll stopping UGC style video ad today. And I'm going to show you the actual process, everything inside Kreator step by step. And you can obviously follow along with me. There's going to be a replay, so you can do this too by stopping and starting me, and because I might go a little fast. But by the end of this, you're going to watch me build one of these. You're going to from, go to start to finish using a real product. And yeah, let's just define what we're kind of talking about when we're talking about UGC style ads. So there's a couple examples here. What we want to do is when somebody's scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, wherever they're scrolling, we don't want them to think like, oh, wow, that's an amazing AI video. We actually don't want people thinking it's AI at all, right? That's kind of the magic in it. We want these to look like they were casually filmed on somebody's phone. And yeah, just kind of like authentic vibes, right? So the goal is really to stop the scroll, and then to sell is second. So let's go ahead and watch these examples.
Quick creative audit. If one product video ad still takes you days, your workflow is broken.
Favorite perfume right now. It smells so good. Like, I get compliments every single time I wear it. Don't miss out on the epic sale that's happening now.
Psst, marketers. C-Dance 2.5 just dropped. We finally get 30-second AI videos, which means way less stitching clips together and way better ads. It's already inside Kreator.ai.
All right. So some good examples there. And why is UGC style so cool, so awesome? It's because it works, you guys. So some of the statistics here, are talking about 56% of consumers want to see UGC style from brands, and 79% say that it significantly influences their buying decisions. I don't know about you, but it does catch me on my Facebook a lot, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could see myself using this product, or oh wow, I like how that lipstick looks on her, or whatever it is. The other thing too, as UGC climbs, so does the confusion about pricing on for these content creators, right? We've seen anywhere from $100 to $10,000 for a video, and I don't know about you guys too. Like, I owned a brand, and I had to deal with finding creators, negotiating terms, managing their contracts, sending out our product, hoping that they stick to the key points that I wanted them to highlight, and then having to ask for revisions. That was pulling teeth, that part, because it's like they already made this thing, and then I had feedback. But just talk about the mental energy crush and the time crunch that happens there. So you can imagine it costs a lot of money, it costs a lot of time. So yeah, and we just know that UGC style boosts e-commerce conversion by an average of 161%. But the problem with UGC the way it is now, it is slow, expensive, and it doesn't scale, okay? And I'm sure, this wave of AI has come, and it promised to solve all of these problems, but I'm sure we've all seen AI that looks like this, right? Sometimes people look amazing, but sometimes you just get whatever's happening over here on the screen. The good news is that we can do specific things here that increase our chances of getting ultra realistic content. So here's our goal today. By the end of the session, you're gonna know how to take one character image, so create one character image, combine it with your product, and then turn that into an ultra realistic UGC style video inside Kreator, okay? I am gonna give you all of the prompts, And I'm going to show you what to look for. We're going to do a little bit of learning as well because I love learning, just a student of life. And I'm going to show you what to look for, and I'm going to show you all the little things that I've learned through a ton of generating, UGC style over and over again. So this is meant to be something you can follow along with, and you will have something to show and post immediately right after this. So again, if you are following along and generating with me, pull up your Kreator account. If you are just choosing to watch or you're not a Kreator user just yet, make sure you stick around. There is a super special bonus for you. So there that is. And very quickly, if we haven't met yet, I'm Kai. And my background is really in entrepreneurship, e-commerce, creating offers, marketing, and customer success. I have founded and scaled 7-figure brands, created offers and ad systems from scratch, and have had a successful e-com exit. So I've spent a lot of time coaching other entrepreneurs as well. That is a soft spot. So I love that. And a common thread through all of this is actually my obsession of how do we make marketing simpler, faster, and more profitable. Okay, so that's the reason I'm super excited about hacks like this that I'm teaching you today, because they give small brands access to creative capabilities that used to require a lot more people, a lot more time, a lot more money. So this stuff isn't just for the big guys anymore. So buckle up. Before jumping in though, I want to know if you guys are able to kind of sniff out AI ads, right? Let me know something in the chat that just kind of is a dead giveaway. You're like, oh yeah, that's AI. Let me know. So for example, for me, some things I'm looking at are extra fingers. Sure, we've seen that. Maybe repeated movements where they are awkwardly moving the same again over and over. Maybe it's the background. Dead eyes, that's a good one. Maybe the super perfect Barbie skin. Yeah, perfect skin. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being vocal in the chat. It keeps me going. All right. So let's start by training our eye just a little bit. So these were generated with the basic same idea, a 20-something-year-old woman here, okay? But look at the difference. I'm going to zoom in. So the two on the left, generally, immediately feel more generated to me, okay? And the two on the right feel much closer to a real photograph, okay? And why is that? All right, let me zoom back out. So yeah, what are we actually seeing here? So what makes those first two kind of meh, right? The first giveaway for me is skin. So AI loves imperfect skin. They love plastic skin. It loves no pores. It loves no freckles. It loves no under eye creasing. And the other thing too is people aren't symmetrical, right? Even me, my ponytail is kind of crooked today. It's not perfect, right? And the other thing that gives it away is the oversaturation in color. AI loves to oversaturate color. And the other thing is lighting. So, these people are supposedly just supposed to be super casual, sitting on a park bench, but somehow they have perfect studio lighting on them. That's another clue, right? So all these tiny clues start adding up and our brain starts to go, wait a minute, that's not real. And of course I've stared at so much AI at this point. And so I'm quicker to pick it up. But these are things I want you guys to learn too. So when we're generating stuff, we're just creating things that are out of the park, right? The other thing too is kind of weird movements, lip syncing is off. That one's hard, but again, we got hacks for that. And this is where the meh versus good, it really boils down to one thing, and that is prompting, right? So these are the prompts that I literally use to generate the two up top, the meh versus the two on bottom, which are good. Is the prompt was a woman in her late 20s. And somehow it just both put them both on a park bench. And I was like, all right, let's roll with that. So prompt 2, it is basically we're giving it more inputs, more things to work with, right? So we're describing things like natural morning light, making sure there's skin texture, tiny freckles, slightly messy hair, a few strands moving in the wind. I noted to use an iPhone camera, imperfect everyday beauty, natural shine on the skin. So notice I'm actually prompting for imperfections, right? And that's one of the biggest tricks. If you ask AI for a beautiful influencer girl, it's going to give you the AI's version of what it thinks is perfection, which is that Barbie skin, like robotic looking, because that, that kind of tracks. So if you ask for it to look like a real person, it's cool, and you describe things that make it look like a real person, that's what you're going to get. So I don't want you guys to look at this and be like, oh, I have to type this out every time. Because that's a lot of creative juice, right? So I've made it super easy for you guys. Don't worry. I'm holding your hand through this process, and I'm going to walk you through what it actually looks like. Okay. So this is the simple 4-step pipeline, essentially. So what we're going to be doing is, 1, we're going to generate our actor image. We are going to have an awesome reference image of our product. We are going to use our ChatGPT or Claude to help us build out the video concept in for a Seedance 2.5 prompt. That's the model we're going to be working with today primarily. And then 4, we're going to generate it in Kreator. That's it. So there is kind of tips and hacks inside each of these steps, but I just want you to see kind of the overall workflow is very simple. All right. So like I said, I am inviting you to do this in tandem with me. So if you are choosing to do that option, you're going to have these things open. You're going to have your Claude or ChatGPT. You are going to want to have your product image or a picture. And 3rd, you're going to want to open up your Kreator account. And one of my teammates is putting in our prompting cheat sheet right here that is going to be a literal game changer for you. Give you guys a minute to get those up. I'm excited. We're going to be working with one of my favorite products, non-sponsored, is this Salt and Stone. I love their brand. Good sense. Okay. So first thing we're going to be doing is generating your actor, right? And we're going to plug this into Kreator. So on that cheat sheet right here, I want to make sure you guys can see that. Yep, perfect. On that cheat sheet right here, we're going to go to step 1, and super simple. You're just going to click copy here. Okay, we have that copied. We're going to go open our Kreator, and we're going to add new or create new and image. And we are just going to plop that in here. Now, this is what I like to do. I like to open this, give myself a little bit more space here. And I want you to take a minute and think about what makes like your perfect avatar. So obviously for a brand like Salt and Stone, it's kind of like somebody who likes natural products, who, values health, is maybe likes to work out because their deodorant actually works and you're not stinky all day. But it's going to be different for somebody who owns, maybe a barbecue tool brand, right? Maybe they have, so it's going to be like a kind of maybe more rugged guy that, likes to be outside and likes to go hunting, and you know what I mean? So it's going to be a different avatar. So what I want you to do here, where it says define your perfect avatar, is literally just that. So for this one, I'm going to say a 27-year-old woman who is a health influencer. So you kind of get the gist here, right? So I know you know your avatar. Go ahead and plug in some key components there. And once you have that, you're going to, I like to use nano-banana 2 for the model here, okay? And give yourselves a couple generations here, maybe 2 or 3 options, because it's going to give you some different vibes, but you can, and see who you like best, right? Who you think fits best. And I always like to pick, if we're kind of going UGC style, I like to use this size, the 9x16. That's going to give you that TikTok size. All right, and then what you're going to do is click generate image. So when I did that, this is what I got originally. This is my model, and I might be weird, or maybe I'm just spending too much time with AI, you guys, but I like to name my avatars. So this is Mia, and she's the model that I'm going to use for the rest of this demo. And this is what your first generation does not need to be like the final one. So I actually made some edits on her. So I made minor edits like make her hair longer, have her be 5 pounds heavier. I thought she was just like a little too emaciated. So I was like, let's put some meat on her bones, right? Maybe I want to have her in a different outfit. So what I'm doing is iterating to make it fit who I think is going to be the perfect person for my brand. And the way you do that, super simple. So I'm going to delete this. But let's say here's a picture of Mia. So I'm going to bring her in here and use that as my reference image, and then say, make her hair longer, make her 5 pounds heavier. So you can see how I'm getting different iterations. I can even say, make her have a little spinach in her teeth. Like whatever you want to do, you can do here. And again, I always like to make a couple iterations. I prefer to use nano-banana 2 here as well. I think nano-banana 2 does a really good job of kind of humanism, prompt adherence. So I would use that and click generate image and back to here. All right, perfect. So now once we have Mia, what I want to do is, it might seem like an extra step, but I promise you it helps the video model tremendously with consistency, and that's actually making an actor sheet, and I want to show you what that looks like. But basically what we're doing is we are giving the video model more information about what this person looks like from different angles, what their body looks like, you know, from the front, from the side, from the 3/4 view, from behind, from close up. So instead of like the video model having to invent what Mia looks like, we're giving it just more info for it to not mess up, okay? Again, you do not have to copy this giant prompt off the screen. I'm gonna show you how to grab it from that document that I have for you guys. But what we're gonna do is, let's just do that. Scroll down here into step 2, building your character reference sheet. You're gonna copy that, bring it back into Kreator. And similarly, what I'm gonna do is have that grab Mia or your model and use that as an image reference, okay? And what we're gonna do is copy that in. And I always recommend take a couple minutes and read through the prompt, especially the first time you're using it. And this is the other time where you can actually, so like here, for example, character description, maybe I want her to not be wearing any jewelry in this picture. So I could say, like in the styling notes, no jewelry. I want her to be wearing a black tank top. Whatever you want, you can change. This is cool too, because you can also change like eras. Like I want Mia to be dressed in Renaissance clothing, or, you know, kind of like Renaissance era. So you could transform her into another dimension, really, which is cool. But that is next level. But anyways, I always recommend, especially even not even here, but if anywhere in the wild that you're getting prompts, read the prompt and learn from it. Just like understand how it's working. I think that has helped me a ton tremendously, is just like with prompt engineering, really, is just learning how it works, right? So once you have this, what I want you to do here is, I actually prefer to use ChatGPT to image here. It's totally up to you. You can use nano-banana or either one of these two I would recommend. And what I like to do for sizing on this is make it 16 by 9. So literally the opposite. We were this way, but now we're this way, okay? And you really only need one of these. You're gonna click generate image and you get a beautiful character sheet. So this is what I was saying earlier is you can see her face straight on, you can see her profile, you can see her body proportions, you can see her hair from behind. Because one of the quickest ways to make like an AI video seem fake is when your character suddenly like shifts a little bit or changes into a different person halfway through the video. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not my person anymore. So now we're giving the video model way more information to work with here. All right, cool. So now the fun part. All right. So this is why we're going to need to have our ChatGPT or Claude open, because basically what it's going to be doing is acting as our creative director here. So again, I know this prompt looks super intimidating, but again, we have it in that document for you to just easy copy and paste. And what we're doing with this prompt here, and again, read it on your own time. I'm not going to read it line by line because that would take forever, but we are giving the AI very clear creative boundaries. What we're saying here is study my product carefully. We are saying preserve the label, the packaging, the color, the proportions, study my character and use her as the identity reference, but give it a creative, I don't know, what's leash essentially for environment. We want a handheld phone movement, especially for that UGC style, right? We want like, if the camera never moved, like the micro movements, that's something our brain picks up on. I also mentioned in this prompt not to give it any cheesy influencer language like, you guys, I'm obsessed. But if you love that cheesy influencer language, feel free to take that out. And we're telling it also, what not to do. So we don't want like any warped packaging on our product. We don't want perfect AI skin. We don't want oh my gosh, my words today, cinematic commercial. We don't want that either. We want genuine looking UGC style content. We don't want random music. We does that make sense? So what we're gonna do is grab that prompt from down here. We're gonna open up our ChatGPT. Oh, and I already put it in here earlier, but important here is I'm attaching an image or URL of my product and character. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna screenshot that. What I didn't do in preparation was download this. And what we're gonna do is drag Mia into here. All right, and then for the URL, I grabbed this URL. And kind of cheat code too, if you are an Amazon seller, the Amazon likes to periodically block AI bots from crawling. So here's a hack is on your Amazon listing, you're actually gonna create a PDF and just upload that whole PDF in there in lieu of the URL product. So a way to do that is if you're on a Windows, you're gonna click on your listing, Control P, and it pops up with a screen to save as a PDF. And if you're on a Mac, you're gonna go Command P, okay? So just a quick hack there to get around, all that good stuff where they like to block certain AIs. So anyways, we're gonna go through this and I want you again to kind of skim over it. I implore you to read the whole thing when you actually do it. And you're gonna click generate, okay? And what this is gonna do, it's going to end up giving you a prompt that looks like this. Just so you could see it, or I guess I could just put it into here. That might be easier. So what we're gonna do in Kreator is we're gonna go create new video clip, okay? And put in the prompt that it gives you. So what's cool about this is we're told it that we want 25 seconds, vertical, and that's the other thing. You want to make sure that in your prompt, you're saying how long you want it. So this one says 15 seconds. So when you bring it over, you wanna make sure that Your duration matches the prompt. Super important because we're going to get some weird stuff if we don't. So that is one thing I want you to double check. So for this one, for example, it says 25, but this one says 15. So make sure when you do this, it's because the prompt I use, it says 15. You're able to go up to 30 seconds now in one video. So anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, you guys have my blessings. Pick what you want, but make sure when you upload the output, so this guy, we'll just use 15 since we're all in the same boat right now. We want to make sure that that duration matches. All right, so cool. Oops, nope, grabbed the wrong. There we go. So maintain strict visual consistency, okay? The woman must remain recognizably the same person throughout. So you could see how we prompted ChatGPT to help us make the prompt for CDance 2.0 here, okay? So go through this, make sure it makes sense. And something I love about the way we prompted ChatGPT here is that it literally breaks down into seconds what the video is going to look like. So the 0 to 4 second hook, and it even says dialogue. Okay, so you can say, why does my deodorant smell better than half my perfumes? I love that. That's a really good opening line. But if you want her to say something different, you can switch that out. 4 to 10 seconds, product interaction. Again, there's dialogue. You can see how nitty gritty the prompt we gave ChatGPT can get. One thing I didn't mention as well is at the end of the prompt, you can always add this in too. I actually really like adding this in. I don't always add it in, but if you want to have a little bit more control over what you get out of ChatGPT. So for example, my target customer is health conscious, 25-year-old to 50-year-old that, whose household income is XYZ. Does that make sense? So you can define your target customer here, describe the main problem or desire this, the product solves. And you can also choose what kind of advertising angle you want. So do you want a before and after? Do you want a problem solution? Do you want an unboxing? Now, if you were doing an unboxing, make sure you give the AI model a picture of your box or else it's going to make it up, right? So we need to make sure that we're giving it accurate inputs, okay? Do we want it to be a day in the life? Do we want it to be social proof? So it just kind of gives you different ideas, and these little variants are going to give you different outputs and ultimately a different video. Okay, back to Kreator. So once we have this in here, you're going to choose your model. It's definitely CDance 2.5, 100%. Now, if you want to be like cost conscious and like credit conscious and you're okay making like revisions, what I might recommend is doing like the CDance 2.0 fast. That's kind of one hack. I just like to go big or go home kind of thing. So I just use CDance 2.5 and then we'll make iterations off of that one. But what we're going to be doing here is for the image references, we want to make sure we're pulling in Mia. We're pulling in her character sheet. And what we want to do is, if you have a product in Kreator, which I hope all of you guys do, definitely if you haven't been through our onboarding checklist that's on there, make sure you do it because it makes your life so much easier. So we're going to choose from products here. And one thing I like to do, especially when products, here's another kind of hack or pro tip, is giving the AI model this is a good example of it, just how big the product is in somebody's hand, right? So it has like a way to create proportions based off something normal. Because if I just had these two pictures, for example, it doesn't have any reference of size, right? Like, who knows? That could be as big as my face for all it knows. It just doesn't know. So it doesn't do anything weird. I like to give it reference sizing. So a lifestyle photo is great for this situation. So use selected images. we're gonna, like I said, make sure the duration matches. So I always double and triple check this because this one says, let's see, the 15 seconds. So this one is 15 seconds because that's where the CTA is. Cool. So we're gonna go 15 seconds and I want it to be more authentic looking. So I'm gonna have it in that TikTok shape. And I'm actually just gonna generate one. When we have such a strong prompt, the chances of it coming out almost perfect, perfect is really high. We might just need to make a couple changes here or there. But then you're gonna click generate video clip. All right, so we just went through this, and generation can take, the fastest generation I've seen with a video like this has been about 3 minutes, but I've had it take up to 10 minutes depending on, just how many people are using the model, how many, the model constantly makes updates. So just be patient.
Okay, 2 people asked me yesterday what perfume I was wearing, and it was literally my deodorant. It's Salt and Stone, Santal, and Vetter. I originally bought it because I wanted an aluminum-free deodorant that actually worked, but the smell is what got me. It's warm, kind of woody, a little ambery. It honestly smells more like fragrance than deodorant. I keep having people go, wait, what are you wearing? And I'm like, apparently my armpits. So yeah, if you've been trying to clean up your routine without smelling like plain baking soda, try this.
Okay, I just love the jokes. Like, she's funny, she's relatable, she's real to me. Again, maybe I'm just spending too much time with AI, or these are my new friends. That might be. But yes, so this is a really good example. So watch the hands, watch the skin, watch the product, the lighting. Like, one of my favorite things about this video, and gotta go back. It might be silly to you guys, but it's the way she's holding the bag with her pinky. Like, I do that all the time. And
Trying
then
to clean up your routine without smelling like plain baking soda? Try this one.
and she just drops the deodorant in there. Like, so realistic. That's how I move. Like, I would be holding my bag, I'm holding it, I'm like plop. So just phenomenal. This is a really good example of good prompts, good output. All right. So some other things is dialogue and timing. This is one of those lessons that I kind of learned mostly by generating a ton of videos. And so you might be there too, but dialogue length matters. And I think that's super, and that's why I've built out in those prompts those timestamps with the dialogue, because that helps tremendously for this. But if you give your character too much dialogue for a short scene, they start talking ridiculously fast, where it doesn't, and their movements don't even match their mouth. And it's not ideal. But between the two problems, I actually rather have that one because I can slow that down a little bit in post-production in the video editor. But if you don't give the model enough dialogue, it actually goes a little crazy and fills that empty space itself. And we start getting this lovely AI gibberish language. So pay attention just to how many seconds are in the scene and how much you're asking the person to say. The prompt, typically 99% will solve for that. But if you do run into that issue, that is what's going on, okay? And another kind of quick hack is, like I said, you can always use the light version of a model if you're just testing and you don't want to just burn through credits essentially, and you just want to figure out the timing. So that's another reason to maybe use the light version of Cdance rather than the straight 2.5. Okay, so other hacks. So fast cuts are your friend. Like, when you think about TikTok and Reels, people are used to seeing things change so quickly on the screen. And these cuts also give your brain less time to notice weird things, okay? And people, you have less time as, people are scrolling. You have less time to keep people engaged. And a slightly faster paced video can accomplish getting more content into that less time that you get with them. Another thing too that I love to utilize is, I wouldn't call it like B-roll, but it's using a voiceover versus lip syncing. If you just feel like the lip syncing doesn't look on. Now, I think Cdance 2.5 does an amazing job of lip syncing, especially when you're giving it the right amount of dialogue. But yeah, so you can create a video similar to this where it's more like maybe it's not B-roll, but it's that voiceover style.
My mornings are pretty simple, but I've gotten really picky about the products I use every day. This is the Salt and Stone deodorant I've been using lately. It's aluminum free, but it actually works. And the Santal and Vetiver Cement is so good that people genuinely ask me what perfume I'm wearing. So it basically became one of those things I put on every morning without even thinking about it. Dog walks, workouts, running around all day. I want something that keeps up without feeling like I'm compromising my routine. And honestly, smelling this good from deodorant is just a really nice bonus.
So that's a good example of kind of that I don't know what to call it besides a voiceover one, but where you can create where she doesn't even need to lip sync. Other fun things we can do is once you have this system in, like it gets really fun, right? Because now you've created your actor and now you can use them in totally different concepts. So for example, I put Mia in a Pilates class. And as you can see here, we did some sneaky product placement in her purse. All right. You can also change the sizes in Kreator to get for different platforms. Maybe like the TikTok size works really well on Reels and this, but for Facebook you want a different size, so you can do that. And that's where this whole system just becomes faster and scalable. So yeah, so recap, it all starts with that solid initial image. This is like key. Do not skip this step. That is why I gave you these prompts, things to look for, how to tweak it. So another thing too, if you ever run into a wall, I guess I didn't mention this earlier, but if you're like, this just isn't what I want for whatever reason, pull that into ChatGPT or Claude and literally talk with it and say, this isn't as realistic as I want it to look. What can I do better? And it'll give you ideas on how to update your prompt, all right? Because I want you guys, when you're doing this, go in with a flexible mindset. I think when I first started doing this, I had a very specific image in my brain, what I wanted it to look like. But I think going with the flow a little bit and just iterating has kind of been really fun and create some really cool stuff. Use those master prompts because it makes it way easier. You don't have to spend 20 minutes typing out a prompt. Oh, I didn't show you how to add captions. That's really cool. So for adding captions, super easy back in Kreator. What you want to do is go to tools. And I noticed a lot of people were asking about this in our circle community. So I wanted to just bring this to light because it is an amazing tool. You're going to click add captions. And from here, you're going to, it auto detects the captions. And you can go ahead and change anything if, read through it, make sure it makes sense. And you can change the different styles. So I like the box, for example. And once you fiddle around with this, you just click burn captions. It's literally only 10 credits. And now you have a full-blown kind of UGC style ad right there. And we learned a ton of other hacks, you guys. So now my ask for you guys is go do this, okay? Go put it in the circle community. I think my favorite thing lately is seeing your guys' creations. And if you have any questions, tag me at Kyla Trell in there because as you know, I've seen some names here that, I've talked to in the community. I will make you a video back, like literally me. Somebody else on my team will do it too, maybe, but I am here to help and help you guys iterate. Now, if you guys are like, wait, what? Circle community? That means maybe you aren't using Kreator just yet. And that is totally cool, but I have an bonus for you guys. So today we're going to be doing 10% off any plan for your first 3 months plus 50,000 lifetime credits with the code Kreator50K. A team member is putting in the chat a link for that. And that's $175 just in those credits alone, you guys. And then for you existing creator users, this bonus does apply to you as well, is the 5,000 additional bonus credits if you complete that onboarding checklist. All right. And you too, potential new creator users, you get an additional 5K just by going through the onboarding checklist and becoming a super user, like learning how to use it. So great offer, jump on it, won't be there forever. And as promised, you guys get to keep that cheat sheet that I made for you guys. Here is the link again, just in case. And yeah, go ahead, make some cool stuff, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I think it is so cool just how fast AI is moving. And let's open it up to some questions.